Good morning and welcome to the HERCULES PLC acquisition of Advantage NRG Ltd investor update and Q&A. Throughout this recorded meeting, investors will be in listen-only mode. Questions are encouraged and they can be submitted at any time using the Q&A tab situated on the right-hand corner of your screen. Simply type in your questions and press send. The company may not be in a position to answer every question received during the meeting itself. However, the company can review all questions submitted today and publish responses where it is appropriate to do so. Before we begin, I would like to submit the following poll, and I would now like to hand you over to CEO Bruce Korkmaz. Good morning to you.
Thank you, Alex. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for your time meeting us today for our short update regarding the recent acquisition that we carried out last week, Friday. Before I start, I was going to ask everyone to submit their question as early as possible, please. As this is only a short update regarding our acquisition, and there's no presentation, so we're going to have a chat about that and answer the questions afterwards. Well, it has been really busy few weeks for us, months for us, for Hercules PLC, and we wanted to take this opportunity to speak to you directly outside of our usual interim and full year results updates, because it's a huge and massive major milestone for us, and we are very excited about that. Paul and I want to share this amazing news by highlighting our latest announcement, the acquisition of Advantage NRG Ltd, and why we believe that it's a major and strategic step forward for the company. We believe that this acquisition is a huge milestone in our growth journey. As you may know, the UK is about to enter a huge phase of infrastructure investment. The government plans to spend at least £725 billion over the next 10 years. As you can see from this number, it's huge, and we want to be part of this spend. We have already seen the government's new 10-year infrastructure plan, and the national infrastructure pipeline is about to be announced, I think, in July time. So, and that is going to be also expected to be a major announcement. These investments will span in the infrastructure sectors that we operate in, and they are transport, power and energy, water, and transmission and distribution networks. In the power and energy sector alone, National Grid has committed to £58 billion of investment to meet 64% increase in electricity demand by 2035. As you might be aware that UK's high voltage power network already covers around 20,000 kilometers, and it will need thousands more kilometers of transmission lines to meet the future demand. As you just heard from these numbers, huge amount of transmission lines to be built in the UK network. Also, you might have heard from Ofgem's announcement, I think it was 2 days ago on Tuesday, that further £24.2 billion worth of investments announced, and £8.9 billion of that will be spent in the transmission upgrade network, where Advantage NRG vastly operates. So great opportunity for us and for the Advantage NRG. So over the next 10 years, we believe that we'll be very busy, both us and NRG, to delivering for these projects. As you might already aware that there's already a strong demand for the skilled workers, especially overhead linesmen that operates in the overhead transmission network. And this demand is expected to grow rapidly. However, the UK faces huge skill shortage, and we have been talking about it in the previous announcements as well, and huge skill shortage in qualified workers to meet the demand coming up on the infrastructure. And that is why we see this as a moment of real opportunity, and why we are positioning Hercules to be at the heart of this once in a generation transformation of the UK's power infrastructure. By acquiring Advantage NRG, specialist provider of overhead linesmen, we are entering the power and energy sector in a meaningful and strategic way. We are genuinely excited about this opportunity, and we believe that we'll be growing within this sector also. This acquisition also strengthens our Hercules Academy. As you might be aware, we have opened our Hercules Academy over 1.5 years ago, and we have trained over 1,500 people. So having bought another training company called Quality Transport Training Limited, I think in June, and it will only help us to strengthen our Hercules Construction Academy. QTT's team now joined the academy, which will help us to broaden our training offering and deliver more courses to upskill and cross-skill the workforce in the infrastructure and construction industries. Now I will hand it over to Paul to go through the numbers, key numbers behind the Advantage NRG deal. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Bruce. Thanks, Bruce. So, yeah, as Bruce says, very, very exciting times. We're all buzzing here. So let's be clear. Hercules is acquiring 100% of the share capital of Advantage NRG. This will be for an initial cash consideration of £10.2 million. Plus, there is a deferred payment of approximately £1.5 million. And on top of that, there's a 1-year earnout. Altogether, this could result in a maximum total consideration of up to £15.7 million. So the earnout is based on a multiple of the average EBITDA for the year ending 28th of February 2025 and the year ending 28th of February 2026, so the average of the 2 years. Crucially, and this is very important to us, the acquisition is expected to be margin and earnings enhancing, as well as being cash generative. To give you an idea, in terms of the most recent history, Advantage NRG posted revenues of more than £11 million in the year ending 28th of February 2025, and a profit before tax of £1.7 million. So these are the main financial elements behind this exciting and important acquisition. I'll now just hand you back to Bruce to run through some, to further run through our strategic rationale.
Thank you, Paul. As I mentioned at the start, it has been a very busy few months for the company. In June, we have announced our interim results, and that we had a record 6 months since we got Hercules established, achieving £54.6 million turnover and EBITDA of £2.6 million. And on top of that, second half of the year is also looking great. We are trading in line with the market expectations. We got the 2 acquisitions over the line, as I mentioned, QTT and Advantage NRG, and these 2 companies will help us with our Hercules Training Academy, as well as supplying of overhead linesmen for the transmission lines for the key grid and power upgrade projects. We also change our name to Hercules PLC rather than Hercules Site Services PLC, just to kind of make it more simple, more sort of, to the point. And this was to simplify our brand to reflect a business which is focused on a labor supply and expanding our blue collar and white collar supply services into construction and infrastructure sectors in the UK. From now on, we'll be simply known as Hercules. Our commitment to our shareholders, clients, and employees will be unchanged, but our ambition for Hercules will continue to grow. I think that's it from us. Just this short update about the NRG, and we love to hear some questions. And if you want us to expand on the certain points, you are more than welcome to us. So thank you.
Okay, so we've got some questions. So let's some of them perhaps can be merged together. So Bruce, here's one I'm sure you'll like to talk about. There has been a lot of talk from the government about infrastructure spend. Which areas are we most interested in and excited about? And where do you see further growth coming for Hercules?
I think great question, and this really aligns with our growth plans in the UK. First of all, if I can just start with the water sector. Water sector AMP7, when you look at the AMP7, that's Asset Management Program number 7, was 51 billion pounds, and that finished just last April, and the new one started, which is AMP8 in the water industry, and then that is 104 billion pounds. So as you're aware, there are in the news, the sewage is being spilled into the rivers and into the seas. And in order to stop that, government is spending more money in the water and sewage infrastructure sector. And we are the part of it. We have been working in the water sector since the AMP5. We work in the Anglian water area, Thames water area, Southern water area, Severn Trent water area. We just started the Wessex water and the United Utilities. So we believe we'll be twice as busy, minimum of that over the next 5 years. So huge opportunities in the water sector. On top of that, the Ukrainian conflict has taught us that we need to be self-sufficient with electricity production as well as the distribution, and we are a bit behind of that with regards to nuclear energy as well as renewable energy. So huge push on those sort of investments coming up in the UK. And by acquiring NRG, we want to be part of that. We already started working on the Sizewell C nuclear plant, and Sizewell C, as you are aware, that has got a committed investment of 14.5 billion pounds over the next few years. But this is only the initial investment. We believe that's going to top up to 40 billion pounds. So that would be the biggest project in the country, and we are already working there, and we believe that we are going to be part of that. And I'm going to move on from that to some of the road projects coming up. Lower Thames Crossing is another one. Northern section of the Lower Thames Crossing, which is again have got a committed investment from government, is going to be delivered by Balfour Beatty, and the southern part of it is going to be delivered by Skanska. And those two projects are those two clients are we are a strategic supplier to them, so we are going to be part of the projects also. On top of that, there are other projects that are coming up. A66 is one, and another the road improvement projects. Paul, have I missed anything that
I think you've got all the big ones, Brusk.
Yes, and obviously there will be other ones, like Net Zero Teesside has been announced recently. I think it's 900 million pounds to Balfour Beatty to grow, and I believe Costain will be part of that as well. So anyway, huge amount of projects are coming up, and this is our strategy, and we want to be acquiring other labor supply companies within these sectors as well as organically growing. Thank you.
Okay. Well, this is a simple one I think I can answer. This is from Adam C. Will there be any brand consolidation, or will Advantage NRG continue to operate under its own name? Okay, so Advantage NRG has got a really good name. It's been in business for some years. It's very, very well thought of. At this time, Advantage NRG is their trading name, and that's what they will continue to trade as. Of course, where we can add value as the Hercules Group to their trading, we will do our utmost to do that. And we're looking forward to finding cross-selling opportunities between us and how we can grow the two businesses together. So that's the simple answer to that one. The next one, Brusk, I think I'll leave to you. This is from Stuart D. What portion of Advantage NRG's operatives are UK-based versus internationally sourced? And how does that mix affect long-term workforce strategy?
Yeah, sure. So most of the Advantage NRG workforce, we believe they come from Philippines. Very, very skilled workforce, very trained, great people. And they've been delivering in the UK this sort of work over the last 11 years. And by using our academy, by working with the Advantage NRG management team, and Nick Adams, who is the MD for the business, great people, by the way. We would like to offer this sort of training in the UK to our workforce, our current workforce, to be able to upskill and put them to work. So we believe that we might be able to scale this up by bringing some UK workforce into the mix. I think having a mix, having a bit of approach, mix approach between the Filipino workers as well as the people from the UK, we would be able to sort of scale this up in a big way. Thank you.
Okay. So next one. There's two from George S. Brusque, I'll let you do one. I'll do the second one.
Yep.
So first one from George S. Have you experienced any regional labour availability challenges that could limit scalability? And how do you address these operationally?
Thank you, George. Great question. So we are a bit different than our competitors. We have developed in 2019 our apps. It's called Hercules Construction Recruitment App. So how does it work? The people. So we can focus on an area where the project coming up. We can advertise through online, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. We can create excitement that work opportunities coming up in the area, and our workers our potential workers download the app. They can enter their data. They can enter their the location, and our software matches them jobs closer to their homes as well as appropriate for their skills. So that helps us a lot actually, and that makes us a bit unique and makes us respond faster than our competitors. So regionally we are not worried. We are going to deliver it, but there will be certain challenges in certain areas. Potentially in Scotland, huge amount of work coming up there, and not enough people there. We've already started establishing ourselves there. Already started with the local workforce sort of engagement, and we want to also we will be bringing some moving some workforce from England to Scotland as well for short periods of time to be able to deliver those projects and bit of a mixture of delivery method. Otherwise, certain areas, unfortunately, not enough people in those areas to deliver it. But we have got a bit of a solution, both using our technology as well as current workforce to be able to deliver these key projects.
Thanks, Brusque. Okay, so I'll take George S.'s second question, which is, with the second half of our financial year historically stronger, can you quantify how much of that is seasonal versus contract driven? Well, George, let's first start off with that seasonal element. We work in the construction industry, and you'll be aware of what the weather is like in Britain, and the Christmas period is a notoriously quiet period for the construction industry in Britain. Always has been. I suspect it always will be. So that means the first half of year, which also can include Easter, depending on when it falls, can be relatively quiet. Or you have the pre-Christmas rush, and then it goes really quiet, and then it picks up again into February and into March. So that's always been the case. So the difference in the second half of the year is, well, weather, and it's not Christmas. So from April to September, hopefully the sun shines, and everybody wants to get the guys on the site doing as much work as possible. Now, assuming the weather is really, really good this year, we'll benefit from that. We certainly have done in recent years, but I can't predict the weather, so I won't even try. In terms of contract driven, well, I think Brusque has already referred to, there's a significant number of contracts that we're going to be on that we know are coming up. And of course, we're not the people who plan the start dates, but they will start and there will be lots of work. So we can't say for certain when they will start, but they may, some of these large projects may impact the second half of this year. Some of them may go into the first half of next year. We don't really know that, but there's lots of other projects that we're still working on that aren't just going to stop. they will continue for some time. There's lots of the quite well-known ones. So as I think Bruce mentioned that Sizewell C, we've started there already, but it's the early days. That we would expect that to step up considerably from the amount of people that's on there currently, but exactly when, can't tell you at the moment. So that, I think, hopefully answers the question. And at the moment, I've said I don't think we've got any more questions.
That's correct, Paul. Brusque, thank you for addressing those questions for investors today. But Brusque, before I redirect investors to provide you with their feedback, which I know is particularly important to the company, could I please ask you for a few closing comments?
Yes, sure. No problem. Thank you, Alex. We started this journey. I started this journey 18 years ago on my own, and now 18 years later, we are over 100 million pound turnover company. Now we are listed on the stock exchange and working for our blue chip clients, and huge investments coming up in the infrastructure. And there is a huge skill shortage and demand, and we believe that we are going to be growing over the next 10 years because of these opportunities ahead, because we got a really good reputation. And we want to get to 500 million and 25 million pound EBITDA in 5 years. We call it Road to 500, and we are very committed to delivering that. We believe that 100 million of that will come through the organic growth, and another 300 million pounds to come through acquisitions. And even though if you get to 400, 300, 400, we'll be still happy. But yeah, we are an ambitious company, and we want to grow, and we have got the right platform, right team, and we believe that we are going to achieve that. Thank you.
Fantastic. Brusque, Paul, thank you once again for updating investors today. Could I please ask investors not to close this session, as you will now be automatically redirected to provide your feedback in order that the team can better understand your views and expectations. This will only take a few moments to complete, and I'm sure will be greatly valued by the company. On behalf of the management team of Hercules PLC, we would like to thank you for attending today's presentation, and good morning to you all.